Welcome to my channel, everyone. Today's story is one that will take you back in time to a day when the Nintendo Wii was making waves across the globe. I'm sure many of you have memories tied to this iconic console, but today we're diving into something much more dramatic and unforgettable. It all started on a sunny morning at my former place of work, a bustling store filled with DVDs, CDs, games, and all sorts of entertainment goodies. This wasn't just any ordinary day. It was the day after the Nintendo Wii had launched, and let me tell you, things were about to get real interesting. As I stood by the entrance greeting customers, a figure charged through the door like a bull in a china shop. His face was red with anger, and he seemed to be on a mission. "Do you have any Nintendo Wiis in stock?" He bellowed as if he expected me to hand him one right then. "Hi there," I replied calmly, but with a sense of dread starting to set in. "I'm sorry, we sold out of the Wii yesterday." The customer's eyes narrowed and his nostrils flared like a bull about to charge again. He stamped his foot and slammed his shopping bags against his side. "Right, well, I want to pre-order one," he said through gritted teeth. "I'm afraid that's not possible anymore," I explained. "We can no longer take pre-orders as it's now after the release day and we're unable to place orders since we don't know when stock will come in again due to high demand." The man's face darkened, and he leaned closer to me, his breath hot on my cheek. "That's a lie!" he roared, pointing an accusatory finger at me. "I was here 2 weeks ago. You promised I would get one if I pre-ordered." At this point, I felt like I needed more context. Was it possible that he had indeed reserved a Wii? Did I miss something in the paperwork? "Oh, are you here to collect your pre-order?" I asked gently. "Do you have an order slip or receipt?" "No," he said dismissively, as if this was the most ridiculous question ever. "You should have one for me. You told me weeks ago that I would be guaranteed a Wii on release day." He looked around wildly, his eyes darting back and forth like a cornered animal. "Either give it to me now or order it right away." I felt my heart sink as I realized the gravity of this situation. "Unfortunately," I said slowly, choosing each word carefully, "we only pre-order with a deposit. If you didn't pay a deposit, we don't have a pre-order for you." His eyes narrowed further. "And we can't order one now because our system won't allow it." The man's face contorted into an expression of sheer disbelief and rage. He raised his voice again, this time louder than before. "This is ridiculous. Get me a manager right now," he shouted. "I'm not leaving here without the Wii." Now, let me pause for a moment to explain something important. I was a supervisor responsible for opening and closing shifts. When there were no managers on duty, supervisors like myself acted as temporary managers. But at that moment, I didn't know how to tell this guy that I was the only one around. "Actually," I said hesitantly, "I am the manager on duty today." His eyes widened in disbelief. "There's no way a little girl can be the manager," he spat out. He was practically seething now, his finger pointed directly at me as if it were a weapon. And then something extraordinary happened. As I was starting to feel that this situation could escalate into something dangerous, I felt a presence behind me. It was our security guard just coming on shift, and he must have heard the commotion from outside. He walked up to me, grabbed the man by his neck gently but firmly, and dragged him towards the door. "Get out of here," the security guard said calmly, pulling the customer backwards. "You're done." The customer's face went from rage to shock in an instant. Once he was pushed outside, he stood there for a moment between me and our security guard. His eyes were wild with fury, as if steam might blow out at any second. Then, after what felt like an eternity of silence, he turned around and stormed off down the street. The tension finally broke, and I let out a deep breath I didn't know I was holding. It's moments like these that remind me how challenging retail can be, but also how rewarding it is to face such challenges, head on. Can you imagine being in my shoes? How would you have handled this customer? This story might seem over the top, but trust me, it's all true and just a small part of what makes working in retail so intense yet incredibly rewarding. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this experience as much as I did sharing it. Thanks for tuning in today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more stories like these. See you next time. Thank you for joining me on this journey down memory lane. Stay tuned for more tales from the retail trenches.